open your eyes to who you truly are in Him. When you look back at the one you once prayed for, the person you once cried over, maybe even begged God to keep, you begin to realize something powerful. Sometimes, the greatest act of God's mercy is an unanswered prayer. You saw potential. God saw a trap. You saw a covenant. They saw comfort. You saw a future. God saw a lesson. He saw what you couldn't see. He knew that the relationship you wanted most was the very thing that would have destroyed your destiny. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 2 says, "The Lord led you through the wilderness to humble and test you, to know what was in your heart." But listen closely. That wilderness wasn't just a physical place. That wilderness was a person. It was that relationship. It was that season that stripped you down to your soul and revealed both your weakness and your longing. God allowed you to love deeply, even desperately, not to break you, but to teach you what love is not, so you would finally recognize what love truly is. In that wilderness, you found something you didn't expect. You found yourself. You found the parts of you that were broken. You see, the wrong person exposes your blind spots. They touch your insecurities. They mirror your wounds. They hold up a mirror not to your worth, but to your weakness. God allowed this because He needed you to see that your desperation for affection was mimicking love. But it wasn't love. It was dependency. It was fear dressed up as passion, and the enemy knows that. He knows how to use your loneliness as bait. That is why he often sends a distraction, right before God sends the real thing. A counterfeit connection feels intense, but it leaves you anxious. It feels urgent, but it lacks peace. It feels like destiny, but it breeds confusion. And yet, God still allowed it. Why? Because He was awakening you. The heartbreak became holy ground. The tears became a testimony. You cried out, "Lord, why would you let me love someone who would leave me?" And heaven whispered back, "Because I needed you to see who you are without me." You loved them more than you trusted God. You made them your future, your hope, your emotional lifeline. And when they left, God remained. That was the lesson. Even when the most cherished person walks away, you are not abandoned. Isaiah verses 43. Chapter 2 promises, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you." You didn't drown. You were delivered. You didn't lose. You learned. You didn't fall apart. You were rebuilt. God allowed you to love the wrong person first, so your soul would never again settle for an imitation. Because real love, the kind God designs, isn't built on chemistry, timing, or passion. It is built on character, sacrifice, and truth. When you've been through the wrong kind of love, you start to hunger for something deeper. You crave peace instead of chaos. You crave prayer instead of pressure. You crave partnership instead of performance. You begin to understand that the right love doesn't just attract you, it anchors you. It doesn't just make you feel wanted, it helps you walk in purpose. And that kind of love always begins with God. He allowed your heart to break so He could enter it fully. He allowed the disappointment so you would stop idolizing a connection and start craving a covenant. So, if you are hurting today, remember this. The wrong person didn't ruin your story. They redirected it. It wasn't rejection. It was protection. It wasn't the end. It was the beginning of becoming whole. Don't rush the next chapter. Let God write it. Because when His timing arrives, it will make sense. Every tear, every lesson, every delay. And when that love finally comes, you'll recognize it. Not because it feels perfect, but because it carries peace. If this message touched your soul, take a deep breath. You are safe now. Subscribe to join us on this journey of healing. And remember, God's protection often looks like heartbreak before it looks like a blessing.